So today we're going to be reading Santa's Coming to Nevada because this is where I am. So if you see, there's Vegas over here, and then on this side, there's Reno. So I thought that was pretty cute, and I really like the illustrations. It's written by Steve Smallman and illustrated by Robert Dunn and Jim Mitchell. Scooch this way so you can see the book. See that illustration, that cool looking? Okay. There we go. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Nevada been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf behind him, behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that the children of Nevada had sent to him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then the young reindeer strolled up, munching a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates to Nevada. So Santa has a GPS. This will guide us to Nevada in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With the flick of its reins and the jerk of his harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Lights off. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have presents delivered to the Silver State. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you. I'm having the hardest time with this. There we go. That's better. Ooh. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night. Headed south across the Arctic Ocean, on they flew in the crisp wintry air, crossing over Canada. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above Montana and Idaho and on to Nevada. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They were just nearing McAfee Peak when suddenly they ran into thick fog. Mist swirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But, ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this fog. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then, through the foggy blanket, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose, I wonder who that could be. There's a little side note here. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with the little box with buttons on it. With the flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be St. Peter's Episcopal Church in Carson City. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the fog. "You have arrived," the Santa nabbed unhelpfully. Fine. Oh, I always forget. Sorry, guys. Finally, when the fog had lifted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the Christmas tree near the state capitol building. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the tree. Santa steered them safely above City Hall, past the Nevada State Museum, over the Carson City Library, and down into Mills Park. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted the presents into order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Nevada, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Elko and small chimneys in Reno. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Boulder City and plummeted down fat chimneys in Fernley. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Nevada were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry, too. In house after house, Santa delved into his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas tree and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Nevada had left out a plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big, crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, took a sip of milk, and wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Laughlin to Las Vegas, from Enterprise to Ely, from Sparks to Spanish Springs, and all of the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Nevada. Santa delivered to Allison, Andrew, Anna, Arabelle, Elizabeth, Ashton, Aaron, and Aiden. The list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zibble. Must be a spelling mistake, surely, it says. There's Reno down here. There's Vegas. Way over here. We're far from Vegas. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Nevada list. "Great moons and stars," sighed Santa. "It's past midnight and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone." Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. "Well done," he said, patting the young reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it came time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding over the Hoover Dam and Lake Mead, above the Valley of Fire, past Cathedral Gorge, and out over Wild Horse Reservoir through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Nevada. Not the best story, but all those places I mentioned were all places from either here or Las Vegas, so it was pretty cool.